Welcome to Unapologetically Badass, the podcast for women over 40 who are done dimming their light. I'm your host, Renee Fleming, coach, queen, and master of the midlife glow up. Solo chats, epic guests, no filter. Let's freaking go. Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another fabulous episode of Unapologetically Badass. And I am so thrilled to introduce you to my next guest. This is Nancy Griffin. We are going to talk about net worth, self-worth, and the new age of integrity. So welcome to the platform, Nancy. So nice to connect with you.
Thank you so much. And what an incredible title. Unapologetically Badass. Spot on. Well done.
Thank you very much. Yes, I want every woman to feel they are a badass. Unapologetically, right. We are who we are. Yep.
On top of their game.
Awesome. Well, let's start. Why don't you tell the audience who you are, what you do, and then we'll dive in.
Okay. So I'm Nancy Griffin, and my business is Women, Worth, and Wellness. And I created it in 1994, shortly after I got into the wealth advisory business. And I was recruited into the business, and they say, okay, go get your credentials, because you've got to have licenses before you can put out your shingle. And of course, it had a great training program. So I arrived all ready to go. This is fabulous. And they said, okay, there's only one thing. You've got to go find your own clients. It's like, what? Yeah. So I'm an entrepreneur. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but being an entrepreneur I think it's probably one of the best roles of all, because if you're in the right organization, you do get a lot of support, but at the same time, you've got a lot of freedom to bring your own uniqueness forward. Yeah. And so very simply, they said, who you want to work with as your clients are people whom you feel you can add value to their lives going forward, because your relationship is going to be a long one. And you really want to lean into looking after those people, your clients, as much as you possibly can. So that's when I decided I'd like to focus on women, not exclusively, but during the 90s, that was when women were really starting to kick it in and really start to make some good things happen for themselves. And so that's what I did. I did a marketing event one November. A whole raft of women showed up. So now I've got a whole bunch of prospects to work my way through. And as I started to meet with these women, the one thing that became really, really evident was it's very difficult for women to move off the mark to their wealth plan when they're really expected to be the nurse practitioner in their home. Like they're caring for everybody's well-being, and that's supposed to be their job. And I'm thinking, well, how much do these women really know about health-related issues? I don't. I'll go to an expert. I mean, I have some idea, but I'm certainly not an expert. So that's when I started a part. For example, in Toronto, which is where I was at the time, we have a hospital that's over 100 years old that's called Women's College Hospital. It's all about women's health and wellness. And so I started to partner with them doing different events, bringing my clients and their friends to these workshops. So now they're increasing their awareness, but equally important, they now have resources to go to, because Google doesn't answer all our questions, and trying to get answers from our family doctor isn't going to happen. So really, and so I just kept on building out from there. As you may know, heart disease is the leading cause of death for women. And so symptoms of heart disease for women are quite different than they are for men. And often the symptoms that we know of are ones that we've learned from the research that was done on men. And women were kind of thought in that research to be little men. Of course, they'll have the same. No, not at all. So it was just a real opportunity to help women really increase their awareness of health-related challenges so that they could be that resource that they're expected to be in their families.
Yes. Yep. I love that. But do you find that women are still struggling with that and the understanding of that, of the health, the wellness, and also their net worth? Because I know a lot of women, especially older women, that their husbands, their spouses, their significant others handle the money, and then they get to a point going, I have no idea.
No, exactly. And more often than not, Mr. passes away before Mrs. does.
Right.
And then she's left with all of this to sort out.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
and so that's why I rewind right to the very beginning,
Mhm.
because, when women are expected to be the nurse practitioner and men are expected to be the wealth advisor,
Mhm.
change it up. Change it up. Like, don't assume all the responsibilities for your health, for your family's health and well-being. Transfer some of those responsibilities to your partner. It's like, no, you take these kids to the doctor this time. You familiarize yourself with vaccinations or whatever the situation is. These are shared responsibilities that we both have.
Yeah.
And really, what I emphasize is that when it pertains to your wealth, you're working with a trusted wealth advisor, and you work with that person jointly so that you're both understanding what your holdings are, what your plans are, what your monthlies will be to be directed to those plans. The other thing that I encourage people to focus on is if your wealth advisor is not anticipating health related challenges and
Mhm.
building those into your overall wealth plan, you're working with the wrong person, because there's a good
Very
chance that a critical illness or premature disability, anything can go wrong. And you
yeah.
have to anticipate those so that you can get any protection in place today in case that happens in the future.
That's a very good point. So is that what you help your clients with? Is that having that understanding?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. I don't have clients currently, but that is what I do through my Women Worth and Wellness programming, is to
Okay.
make sure that people understand and
Mhm.
that you build out those positive relationships sooner rather than later. So in other words, you're not taking things for granted, and you're not passing responsibilities over to another person where you may miss out on learning and understanding. So make sure that you're paying attention to all those sorts of things. The other thing is when you work with a wealth advisor together, you're each learning about potential vulnerabilities. So you're
Mhm.
learning about that before that's an issue. And if you try to have that conversation between the two of you without that professional present, first of all, the chances are pretty good you won't have the conversation. And
Mhm.
secondly, if you do, who has the answers? Like, who really knows for sure? And so that's why working with a wealth advisor together is really, really, really important.
So what made you create this business? Because you were an entrepreneur. Are you still an entrepreneur, or you have solely entrepreneurial?
Now, no, exactly. Now I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So no longer have clients that I'm serving from a wealth advisory standpoint. The business is Women Worth and Wellness. And what I do is all sorts of different events, really increasing people's awareness about all the things that they should be thinking about doing. More often than not, I'm working with a wealth advisor or a wealth advisory team to help them serve their clients exceptionally well. So I no longer have, immediate clients for wealth advice,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
certainly I'm still in the whole business of wealth advisory.
How did you make that transition? What made you go into having your own business to bring
I was
awareness?
well, I was ready to semi-retire. And
Mhm.
so in semi-retirement, that's when you think about, okay, what do I want to keep on doing? What don't I want to do? And when I sold off my book of business, my clients, it was after the 2008 challenge. And that had all sorts of ramifications and implications and challenges. And at the time, the person that was my boss was not a nice person. It was just like there were too many things going wrong. And
Mm.
in the office that I was in, there was another advisor there who had done a lot of work with women. So it was very easy to transition my clients over to that person.
Okay, great. That's great. And then what made you like, okay, how did you start this?
So I had no more clients that I was looking after, but certainly the Women Worth and Wellness brand presented an opportunity all by itself to share a lot of the teachings and learnings that I had acquired. And of course, when we got to the whole COVID time,
Mhm.
I was doing a lot of online events, which were amazing because you can bring in guest speakers from all over the world, which was super. I mean, it's like this whole podcasting experience.
Yeah.
That was the one good thing that came from COVID was Zoom's arrival. And really, when going back to wealth advisory, when I was an advisor, you met with your clients personally. So
Right.
you either traveled to them or they came to your office. Now you can do reviews so much more frequently. Like now, the relationship can be even deeper than it was when you were meeting in person
Yeah.
because it doesn't take long for a quick update. If something changes in your life, then get your advisor on a Zoom, bring the person up to date, do whatever changes you need to get that all in place, and away you go. And I'll
Yeah.
talk to you 6 months from now unless something else has come up. So really there's no excuse not to be working well with that wealth advisor because of this whole online opportunity.
Absolutely. And do you find that women are intimidated by that, and especially that word wealth, if they feel they don't have wealth, right? So then how does someone overcome, do you feel that that's something that they kind of push this aside going, well, I'm not wealthy, so I'm not going to get an advisor.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's only an issue if you've never gotten started. And so the key question is, how do I get started? Do I have to have lots of money? No, absolutely not. If you've got any money at all, and you would have money because you've got expenses every day. So where does the money come from to support
Mhm.
your whole cost of living?
Mhm.
So people do have money. Obviously, if you're working with a company, then you've got income, you've possibly got benefits from that company, the whole scenario. But to get started with a wealth plan, just about everybody has a banking relationship. And even if it's virtual, you can say, okay, I'm interested in other services that you're offering. I really want to get started with an investment plan that focuses on my 401k. Who should I speak with? And
Mhm.
then, if you've got a whole lot more money within that bank, there will be a whole suite of advisors depending on how much wealth you do have. But the important thing is to get started immediately, work with somebody. If you don't like that somebody, then find somebody else, but don't, I say not even dentists do their own dental work. So don't try to do this yourself. Really don't.
That's
It makes
really
all the
great.
difference. Yeah, makes
Yeah.
all the difference in the world when you work with somebody.
Yeah, and it's not too late, no matter where
No,
somebody is in their lives, right? That's
right,
another thing that we often hear. A lot of women are like, "Well, I'm older, so, it's over for me. I'm, nothing to
not at
see."
all.
And it's like, "No," right? We can reinvent ourselves at every, stage of our lives.
You're right. I like the way you say no. It's no, you're right. It is. It's never too late. It's get on with it. And of course, we know that people are living longer and longer. So
Yeah,
even if you're in your 80s, it's still not too late. You might
right.
live to be 100. So
Yep,
that's like another 15 years to go, or 18 or 20. That's a
abs
lot of time. The
yep.
other thing is it gives you a whole level of confidence and your demeanor changes when you understand what you have and why you have it and you've got plans in place so that if the bus runs you over, it's like, well, so the bus ran me over, but there's my plan. I've got everything in order. It just gives you a whole level of confidence. You feel so much better about yourself. So much better.
You're right, that is such a sense of empowerment when
Right.
women have control, or they maybe not have control, but they see that they are in control of their own future.
They've
And
taken control.
yeah,
Right.
they can control. They have the knowledge and the confidence of going, okay, I know where I'm going. I know what I have to take care of myself or my
Right.
family or leave behind to my family. That is definitely a very comforting feeling. And often, and when people don't have that, even, I was talking about like wills and, leaving things to children, to family and all of that, and having that in place and
Right.
having, the where do you want to be buried? Do you want to be buried? Do you want what
Right.
kind do you want a wake? Do you want a funeral? And all of that stuff. Those are really it's empowering to know, like, I've got an
Correct.
entire plan. Nobody
Yep.
when if I get hit by a bus, nobody's got to worry about a damn thing. I've got it
Exactly.
safe. They have, they'll be contacted. They know exactly what's going to happen. Yeah.
Correct. Yep. No,
Uh,
you're absolutely right. And that's what I emphasize both with your health and your wealth is that you own your own life. Like it's a number one asset. And you're the only person that's going to look after it to the very best of your ability. Don't expect other people to look after you. So that's why you
bingo.
need to pay attention. Pay attention. And if you're healthy now, that is fabulous. So the
Yeah.
key question is don't take it for granted. What do
Mhm,
I need to do in order to stay healthy?
mhm.
And to the very best of your ability, do that. Because when you're healthy, you can do so much. But as soon as something happens, then it's a showstopper.
Yes, yes. And I think a lot of this is can versus want.
Right.
Everyone can create self-worth,
Correct.
self-wealth. Everyone can create a healthy habit, but it's whether or not they choose to.
Correct.
And it's, we know that it's really upon them. I mean, you try to inspire them and empower them and give them the tools and the knowledge. What do you see as the biggest, hurdle that women have when
Well, where to begin? The word worth comes up frequently with self worth and net worth, but it also comes up pertaining to worthiness. Like I'm not worthy, and even though they don't say it out loud, they just think they don't deserve to be able to step forward and pay attention to all of these things when in fact definitely you are worthy. You are worthy. And so gradually just get yourself started and underway. And that's why working with somebody will reinforce your confidence in stepping out and stepping up and going on from there. It takes sometimes it takes time to find the right person, but the
yeah.
right person is definitely out there. Definitely.
How did you get so confident and empowered in order to want to empower others?
Well, I've been doing this for a long time, like 30 over 30 years. And a lot of it has evolved, it's just but I think the confidence comes by continually getting in the middle of things.
Yeah.
And that, I just had this conversation at lunch. AI is looming. And AI needs to be our partner, not a tool. Like you need to get in the middle of it. And
Yeah.
I just volunteered with our local municipality to lead an initiative pertaining to AI. I know nothing about AI. I want to learn, but that's the way you learn.
Yeah.
I
Quick crown check, Queen. If you're vibing with this episode, you're exactly the type of badass I built my empire for. Whether you're building your fuck it fund, launching your brand, craving a midlife reinvention, or just want to look and feel like a million freaking bucks, I've got you. From merch that speaks your truth to digital tools, coaching, and yes, even collagen that slaps. I serve the sass, the strategy, and the sparkle to help women over 40 take up space and cash checks doing what they love. Head on over to reneecarbonefleming.com or tap the link in the show notes. Pick your flavor of badass and let's turn your midlife into
I know a lot of people who are experts that I could bring into for an event. And just my point is get in the middle of things. Like don't sit back and say, well, I'm old, I'm retired, I'm whatever. No, just keep going, just keep getting in the middle of things. It's interesting because a word that's come up frequently just within the last week or so is curiosity.
you literally that's the word that I had in my head.
Weird. It's
Yeah,
weird, isn't it?
it really is. That's the one thing that I find and I hear so often. If people are just they lose their curiosity. If you lose your curiosity, like I can't relate to that.
Right. Me
You know,
either.
I'm 55 years of age. I keep on wanting to change that. I don't want to say old or young. I'm 55 years of
No.
age. And I have a confident relationship with my chat GPT. I have evolved and I've learned other AI tools to help me in my
Yeah.
business because
Wonderful.
I want to, I'm like, I want to learn this because
Right.
as much as I have like a love hate and nervousness about AI and the industries that we're going to lose because of AI and the amount of, people that'll be, lost workforce, those things are concerning. However, I can't just put my head in the sand
No.
and go, I
No.
don't like it, so I'm not going to learn it. You
Right.
either learn it, you figure it out, or you're
You're going
screwed.
beyond. Right. It's just like this. You got to keep up, keep up, keep up, keep up, keep up,
Yes,
keep
yes.
up. And in doing so, it's good for your body, it's good for your soul, it's good for your mind. Seriously.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even if somebody doesn't have a business or whatever. So a lot of people, right, with AI, they're like, well, it doesn't pertain to me. It can pertain to every aspect of your life.
Right. Right. Well, one person asked me the other day, with AI, how are you seeing women worth and wellness changing? And I said, well, one of the things that I can really anticipate is that our health will be diagnosed much more easily. It'll be a pinprick or something like that, and all of a sudden there it is. This is you.
Yep.
This is your health status at this moment in time, and
Yep.
these are risks, and this is a program, just like that.
Right.
Whereas now we've got to find a medical person, we've got to have a conversation, we have to get them to prescribe something, and then then we got to come back for the blah, blah, blah. So
Right.
all of that will be shortened and we'll be further ahead.
Well, absolutely. And my parents are still with us. They have their own, health issues.
Right.
I was able to plug in all of their health issues into my GPT,
Wonderful.
learn about them in order to help create a meal plan that would benefit both of them based on their individual health concerns.
Right.
Because it's always that, I'm like, that's not good for you. Well, I like it. It's not good for dad like it is, but I did it within seconds versus
Good for you. Wonderful.
right, and be able to give that to my parents going, here you go. Here's a list of foods that you can eat that will be, it's just, and that was done like that. You can even break that list down going, give me, the grocery store list based on, the planogram of whatever, like it'll tell you what aisle to go in and what products to shop. And so there's amazing, it is amazing. It even helped. I had AI plan a mother-daughter trip that I did in Napa Valley.
Wonderful.
And it was beautiful based on budget, based on the wines we wanted to try. Like
amazing.
It really is amazing tool.
Well, just keep talking about that on your podcast, because that's what people need to hear, so that they're not afraid of it. I mean, and sharing those real life examples is spot on. Spot on.
Oh, thank you. Yes. It's important because it's like, it's scary going, we don't know if this is going to be like Terminator in the next 10 years,
Right.
But I mean, we see the robots, we see like flying cars all of a sudden. They're like, finally the Jetsons are happening, but there's just like when people are like, oh, the microwave or television, every generation has their thing. It's just right now, everything is so accelerated.
Exactly.
Technology has gone from here when I was growing up and graduating school to like,
crazy. I know it is. It's crazy, but we're lucky to be alive, and so we've got a brain. Just keep up.
Yeah, I think it keeps us young. For sure.
Does.
Yeah,
definitely. So the community that I'm in, there's so many amazing women over 80. It's unbelievable. And the only reason why they're 80 is because they're still leading on. They're right in the middle of things. And it's just, they're role models for sure.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's how I hope to be. That's the plan. I ain't going anywhere. I'm just getting started.
Exactly. Just getting warmed up.
Yep. What else do you see for the future besides AI? What do you see for you in your business?
The other huge opportunity for women, once you're working with that fabulous wealth advisor, is the amount of activity that is going to be present for women and philanthropy, because women are earning way more. But guess what? They're now starting to inherit from their parents. Mm-hmm. And longer term, assuming their partner is a male, they'll be inheriting more money longer term. So it's even more important that women are very, very well informed about how to steward wealth. And once you get in the middle of that, there are all sorts of configurations. You can only imagine what's in there. And so that's what I encourage women to do, because that stewardship is a whole new power opportunity. Huge. Yeah. So if you ever wanted power, your day has arrived. And directing those dollars to, suitable organizations that you're passionate about gives you an opportunity to make a real difference in creating a better world, which generally speaking, we all want to do one way or another.
Right, right. And don't you find that it's definitely a do good, feel good? When you're doing
Oh,
good for somebody else, you
for
feel
sure.
amazing, right?
Yeah,
So many
exactly.
people feel like, like might be suffering on hard times or health issues, or, there's a lot of ish in life. I mean, we never
Mhm.
go unscathed. But
Right.
when you make that effort to um, to help somebody else, whether it's a charity, it's a cause, it definitely will help get people out of that funk that they're in.
Right. And just building on that point, you don't have to have money to give
Right.
back. Volunteerism is huge. And the
Yes.
other day I heard something that's so simple, that's so true. If you see somebody that isn't smiling, give them one of yours.
I mean, that's beautiful and it's free.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
no big deal.
Yeah.
You could just look at somebody and say, "You're not smiling. I'd like to give you one of mine." And they'll go, "Is that woman nuts?" But then they'll smile. They'll smile. And they'll
Yes.
probably say thank you. And away
Right.
you go. Carry on.
And they might tell someone, I met this crazy lady who gave me her smile, right? And just know, and I'm sure when they say that, they're going to be smiling and passing that smile along to the next person.
Exactly. And it's like I told you not to speak to strangers. I didn't speak to her. She spoke to me. You're absolutely right. Like really, really, really just keep up, get in the middle of things, have some fun and be generous. Like really just have a generous spirit.
Yes. Yep. Generous with time, generous with really,
Your
it's
work.
generous with your heart.
Exactly.
If you're generous with your heart, everything is going to unfold for you. But
Right.
it's hot first. You got to have curiosity. I love that. I love the
Yeah.
fact that you're promoting, women to explore different things, no matter their age. That's really
And
important.
never be, women, because we kind of travel in packs. And no woman wants to stick her neck out. If you're not familiar with the tall poppy syndrome, dial it up and you'll see exactly what I mean. Because sometimes when women step out kind of ahead of the crowd,
Hmm.
they feel like women are going to go, well, who the heck does she think she is? Why is she doing that? So then we don't do it because we don't want other people to say that about us. On
Yep.
the other hand, the world needs more women to step up and step out and
Right.
know that you are worthy in doing so. And you can do it in a way that is fun, that is respectful, that isn't all about you. It's just you simply taking the lead for the betterment of everybody.
Absolutely. Fear really is
Yeah,
such a
correct.
crippling feeling. So many people won't break that pack. I
Right.
remember, as I expanded my businesses and where I wanted to go, I absolutely, one thing that held me back for a long time was what would other people think, and go in the who the hell is she think she is by doing, whatever. And
Exactly.
who does she think she is that we're having a podcast. But it's
Right.
like, well, I'm Renee Carbone Fleming, and if you don't fucking like it, excuse my French, but I swear a lot. But if
Exactly.
I'm not your cup of tea, that's
Right.
okay. I drink
Right.
coffee. I'm not
Right.
your girl then. It's totally good. I know that I come from a really good place and I want to help other women. If you don't like
Right.
my name, you don't like what I'm serving,
Don't
it's
dial in.
right.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, it's you shed you shed the skin that you are not meant to be in.
Correct.
I think that is the biggest lesson, is
Yeah.
that you don't need to stay in the pack. You evolve, and if they're meant to be part of that journey, they're going to stick with you.
Correct.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yep.
I have a brother who since passed away, but he used to write missives all the time and had a great sense of humor. And so people would say, "Oh my, get him, put me on that list too." So put him on the list. Anyway, we all look forward to getting them. So of course he passed away, and I've kind of kept that flavor going because I'll do a Facebook post. Like you just put in a picture and then you add some music to it. I can't believe the number of people who come and like it. And I
Yep.
said to my husband, it's really amazing the different people that come. Do they not have anything better to do? And then my attitude is like yours. Well, if they don't, I'm listen. You're not a captive. You don't have to come here. You don't have to like this. You don't even have to be on my list anymore.
Yeah.
I just think I just get a big kick out of, you're, and it's reinforcing what you're saying. Like, don't hold yourself back. If you've
Yeah.
got something to offer, then put yourself out there and do it respectfully
Yeah.
and see what happens. You may inspire other people to do something as well.
That's exactly it. So with so many people, we talk about social media and we talk about people who have businesses and of course building brands, and people get really caught up on the vanity metrics of it all.
Right.
How many views did I get? How many likes did I get or followers? And I always go back like, I didn't do this. I didn't create all this stuff
No.
necessarily for me for like a certain value or income thing, but I'm going, if I could change one woman's life, and I know, and I have goosebumps because I get messages going like that conversation really hit me, or your training really did that. Like, that is huge. If you
Right.
have two views on a post, you had two eyeballs supporting what you were doing.
Right.
Right? If we walk into a room with 37 people with eyes on us, we're like, oh my gosh, this is great. Right? But when we get 37 views on a post, people are like, I only got 37 views. I'm like, that's wonderful. 37 people were like
Exactly.
seeing you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, good for you. And you're absolutely right. Your intentions are only positive.
Yeah.
You've got something to offer. You think you do. So you put it out there. And then when somebody says, wow, that was amazing, that really has inspired, bonus. That's exactly why you're doing what you do.
Yeah. And it's a lot of people stop doing it because they don't see the fruits of their
Keep
labor,
going.
or they don't think that they're actually making any impact. And there's a book.
Mhm.
Are you familiar with 3 Feet from Gold?
No,
I talk about it all the time. Where is it?
really.
Oh my gosh. Where is it? Where did I put it? It's right here. I'm like, I talk about it all the time. 3 Feet from Gold, right here.
Okay. Okay.
From the Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, good. Yes, I know. Yep. Right.
Um, this book, literally, I'm like, I share it with everyone because you just might be 3 feet from gold. Like, so many times we want to stop doing, quitting. What is it worth it? Am I, crazy? And then
Right.
that
We're
goal,
all almost there.
you're like right there. So it's like, don't stop.
Nope.
You might be 3 feet from gold, and you just
Wonderful.
don't know.
Okay. Well, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Well,
that was a
we
great one.
used to say go big or go home, and now I say go big and keep going.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
that's it exactly.
Yeah, yep. I
Don't
was
give
at an
up.
event. I was at a networking event last week, in-person event, which I love, and try to do more of them. It's actually nice when I actually put real pants on and get out of the house. Um, right. But I was at an event and somebody was like, wait a minute, I know you. And I'm like, I don't know if we've ever met before. And she was like, you have that podcast. And
There
she
you go.
started the podcast. And
Wonderful.
I'm like, yes, I do. But I was like, oh, you and 5 people. No, but it's one of those things that you just don't know who you're going
Good
to
for you.
impact, and then having those conversations, right? So
Exactly.
it's, keep showing up, keep, pushing yourself to be curious, to explore more, and don't be afraid to fail. Like, that's,
It's your life. It is your life. So enjoy it. Like, really create that kind of enjoyment and satisfaction for yourself, really.
yeah,
And when you do, I mean, that night when you came home after me, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, good for you. Like,
yeah,
give yourself some really, really special credit
right,
because, we often look in the mirror and go, oh my God, should I keep doing this or what? So do
right.
it.
Yeah, we look at our flaws and we don't embrace and be proud of our own accomplishments
Right.
without, the outside, you know, um, kind of giving us that acknowledgement. So what else do you have going on? Do you have more workshops happening
Well,
for
I'm just, I, you kind of, before I was doing all this podcasting, it's kind of like, okay, what's next? Well, actually, there's one woman who interviewed me. She said, now, do you define an accomplished woman the same today as you did when you first defined yourself as being a legacy advisor to accomplished women? And I thought, well, you know what? That's a real showstopper question. And as I thought about it, I thought, no, my definition of an accomplished woman today is someone, because we spend a lot of time working to arrive. we wanted to be a VP or a CEO or a business owner or whatever. This has been our mission. But there's so many accomplished women now. My definition of an accomplished woman today is someone who has arrived. But it's like, okay, now you need to step it up and really find a way to make the world a better place. Because we often focus on all those women who came before us who did really, really incredible things. Well, I think the power is there right now for women to really, really do incredible things. We know that the world is inside out and upside down. So there's got to be a place for all of us to add our just 2 cents worth to really, really make it a better place. And so, of course, my role models are Melinda French Gates and everything she's doing, and Mackenzie Scott. Through no fault of their own, they ended up with those bag loads of money.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to do what they're doing, but they set out to really, really make the world a better place.
Yeah.
And that's really what I admire. So I'm just in the process of wrestling about how we bring that whole concept forward so that women will be inspired and will take action to just do something to make the world a better place.
I love that. And I think it all comes down to that curiosity, because I don't think we ever arrive if we continue to stay curious.
Right. Very good point. Very good point.
Yep. So that's, I want to try and stay curious. That's my goal, is to just keep. And I think, a lot of women like me that I talk to, because obviously, you attract people that are similar.
Yep.
Right. I often feel like, when is it enough? Right. Like, when can I actually go like, okay, I'm good. And I don't know, something that's like miswired in my brain, but I'm like, that's not me. I can't just stay in one spot or continue to do one thing. I'm always curious about evolving and trying something else. And why not do this? And why not do that? And
exactly. And sometimes we just need to pause. Like, sometimes we've arrived, and then we just need to pause and reflect and then do a redirect. It's like, okay, this is really where I want to head this time. Yeah. And away you go again. Away you go.
Away you
Reaching for more. I heard this one woman she was one of the guest speakers actually at a women's summit. 400 women were present. And she said, okay, ladies, I want you to put your arms in the air. So, of course, they went. She said, put your arms put your arms up like this. Like, in other words, I'm alive. I'm here. I want to do more. And I thought, that is the logo for Women, Worth, and Wellness. It's standing on a hill. And then that's when you know that you are feeling fabulous about where you're headed, what you're doing, and the difference that you can make, which is so important. And women have that capacity and that capability. It's just, going back to our earlier conversation, is just step out and step up, and don't hold yourself back because you think other people are going to criticize you. It's like, well, that's their problem. It's not yours.
That's right. Step up, step out. I love what you're doing, supporting women. It seems like it's been your passion, your legacy, and I'm super excited to share that with the audience and everything that you are.
Renee. And you too, with all your badass.
Oh, thank you.
We'll create a revolution. Watch out.
Absolutely. Yep. It's a movement. Watch out, people. So where can people find you? How can they get in touch with you?
Just tell them, send me an email, and then you go into our database, and then you'll hear what we're up to, because we're kind of emerging. It's Nancy, Nancy, at womenworthwellness.com. Nancy at womenworthwellness.com. And just send me an email. And if you want to send me a message too, that's even better. That's a bonus. But we'll put your email into our database, and then you'll be hearing whatever we're up to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Everyone, stay tuned for the next Unapologetically Badass, and be sure to get in touch with Nancy. Have a great one, all.
Perfect. Thanks, Renee. Bye for now.
Wrap for today, Queen. But don't just walk away inspired. Walk away activated. If this episode lit a fire under your fabulous ass, hit that follow button, leave a review, and share it with your fiercest ride or die. Your support helps this podcast reach even more women who are ready to reclaim their power. And hey, if you're ready to look, feel, and earn like $1 million freaking bucks, I've got an entire badass empire waiting for you. From confidence boosting merch to brand strategy, coaching, collagen content, and everything in between, head on over to reneecarbonefleming.com or tap the link in the show notes. Pick your flavor of badass and let's turn midlife into your power era. Stay bold, stay unapologetic, and wear the damn crown.